referral. Roll call.
Excuse me. Commissioners Vogel,
Here.
Richmond, present. George Duberstein,
Here.
Abramson,
Here.
Georgiana Duberstein. Here. Crease
Here.
and Williams.
Here.
Quorum established. I need approval for, I need a motion for the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioners Vogel,
Here.
Richmond, present. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. George Duberstein,
Aye.
Abramson,
Aye.
Georgiana Duberstein. Aye. Crease
Aye.
and Williams.
Aye.
We will now hold a public hearing on the proposed zoning ordinance text amendment to amend certain sections of the Village of Hainesville Code of Ordinances. And I'm going to leave this over to John to speak.
You got it. Sorry.
Christina? Yes. We should probably swear John in.
We can swear in anybody who's being talked to. Do you want to swear him in? Yeah. Is anyone else in this room? Oh, just raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth.
I do.
Good enough.
Do we vote on it?
Yes. Yes.
I swear.
Thank you.
All right, Mayor, and the village board, actually, this is the planning and zoning committee. Good to be here again. It's been a while since I've been out here. We're going to be going over a proposed village-initiated text amendment it's basically, I would view this more as housekeeping than anything else. It is to amend or right-size the zoning ordinance to accommodate the use that we've had here in the village for quite some time, and that's the Barclay Sports Club, the Gun Club. It's been operating here for a long time. We consume a large piece of property in the village, or a large property owner. But there's never really been sort of a clear documentation as to what they do, how they do their operations, their physical parameters, et cetera, et cetera. So we work with the sports club and the village attorney to document exactly what they are doing now and have been doing. The text amendment reflects the current operations and the current gun club. It does not afford them anything that they haven't been doing or currently doing, so it's not a change for them at all. It's just a housekeeping matter. And what we have done is we're endeavoring to amend the zoning ordinance to basically snap the chalk line to officially codify their existence as a special use in the agricultural district in the village of Hainesville. And the reason we're doing that is because it legitimizes and documents what they are, what they have right now, physically, operationally, thereby requiring any time they propose a change in the future, to change anything, hours of operation, activities, uses on the site, anything, physical parameters, they would then have to come to the village for a public hearing to seek a special use on top of the special use survey. So this codifies what they are and what they're doing and establishes the process by which they would have to seek any changes going forward. So it's good for them because it shores them up now, and it's good for the village because it protects them if they want to do anything they usually have to get permission. So that's what it is, basically. I'm going to have Nicole Campbell is with me. Nicole is part of our team at House of Being. She is a vital part of our zoning operations for our firm. You met Jackie when I was up here. Jackie worked up here a couple of times. She works with me and Jackie all across the United States on zoning ordinances with communities big and small. Jackie, as you know, is no longer with our firm. She is now, or will be any hour now, mom. So she's taking some time out to focus on family now. So she was with us for about 8 years. So I'm going to turn it over to Nicole, and Nicole is going to walk you through the proposed text amendment language. Thank you.
As John mentioned, I'm Nicole. I'm going to walk through this briefly, but if you have any specific questions, feel free to interrupt me. Usually zoning is pretty technical and isn't really that fun, but this is pretty straightforward. So just going through the document here, we have the section 17.3.10, the allowed uses. We're not making any changes here. This just outlines how the table should be interpreted. There's different use types, permitted uses and special uses, and then there are additional regulations tied to different uses. So in the actual use table, we've added the gun club as its own use to be allowed as a special use in the agriculture district. And then we've referenced the additional regulations in that column there, 17, 14, 120. And then in that section, we detailed regulations, and the Northbrook Gun Club does conform with the standards that we've incorporated. So, as John mentioned, we're really just memorializing the gun club as it operates today. And then if they did changes to their operations, they would have to come and amend the regulations for it. So just to go over the regulations, we have some location restrictions, just making sure they have a certain distance from special uses like residences, schools, places of worship, that may be a bit more sensitive, and then having it on a site that at least 10 acres. Then we included some screening and buffering regulations, whether that be a physical barrier like a solid fence, wall, or berm, or just a larger distance. Then we've included hours of operation, with extended hours during the summer months where the sun is out a little bit longer. Then we add regulations for accessory uses. So the gun club is the main use on the sites, but there may be some other activities that go on there, like a restaurant, where you get some eat, retail, they have some merch that they sell, gun cleaning and cleaning services, banquet facilities for events, and then indoor storage. And these are accessory uses that the existing gun club has now operating on sites. Then we added language for special events. So sometimes the gun club will have events in their own holidays or around different times of the year. And so we just included regulations that they have to comply with the hours of operation. And that if they want to extend to 9 p.m., then that would be administrative duty of the village. And then we added some limitations on the use, just for safety, different kinds on site. And then at the end of the document, we have the gun club definition. That's just for reference, we're not making any changes to it. And that's the minutes.
Any questions or discussions at all?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. In the preparation of this document, did we get any information directly from this, not the gun club, the sports club? That's another question I have, but anyway. Did we coordinate with them in any way, shape, or form to get the information, number one, and number two, have they looked at this document and do we know whether they have any objections to anything we're doing?
Yes, so we did work with the gun clubs to help draft these, and then they did look at them on the documents.
Okay. I noticed, and a lot of people keep referring to it as the gun club, but technically it's the sports club. I don't have, unfortunately, I don't have the document in front of me right now, but do we use the word gun club in the document, or do we refer to them as a sports club, which is what they have always been called?
So the zoning code already identifies the gun club in their definition, so we carry that over into the use table.
Okay.
If I could, I'll just address that one aspect of that real quick. McDonald's is a restaurant, the zoning ordinance won't refer to it as McDonald's, it would refer to it as a restaurant, that's the use. So this is called Northbrook Sports Club, but it is a gun club.
Right.
And they reviewed this, so the use table, the use is a gun club, the name is something else, but so to be consistent with the definitions that were already in the zoning, we refer to it as a gun club.
Okay.
And this is probably more out of curiosity. So you have the gun club, right? And then they have the 700 acres that belong to them. That's zoned agriculture, I would imagine.
Yes, their second zone agriculture.
Okay, anything that we have to be concerned about in the future of the 700 acres, if they ever wanted to add anything to those, to the additional land, like building or whatever?
So if they wanted to intensify the use or add anything to it, then they would have to come and amend their special use permits.
I noticed there's a lot of, and has been over the past couple of years, a lot of different construction of buildings, movement of earth and all kinds of other things. I don't know that they have come to us for any of that stuff unless you know of something. I don't.
No, I don't.
No, I'm
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at it.
They do have some plans for the future, yes. They have talked to us about it.
Does the permitting process that a residence in Hainesville have to go through to get plans approved or have inspections apply to the gun club as well?
Yeah.
And do we have any limitations on their retail sales? Specifically, can they sell guns?
I'm not sure if they do sell guns. Do they sell, are they selling guns there, Jerry? Not that I know of.
No, they don't have
No, they don't
the
have
proper
the permit for it,
licensing, the
yeah.
FFL.
They would have to get a state and federal firearms
Yeah.
license under a certain kind, and they don't do that.
I think currently they do like cleaning and they sell ammunition, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And do any of their retail sales fall into the category of groceries?
I believe it's like shirts and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
It's, I think a good way to think of it is a pro shop in a golf course.
yeah.
It's, if you're a shooter, this is your pro shop. You're wearing shirts or goggles or hats or padded shoulder jackets or things like that. It's a fairly limited space, but it is a limited retail thing for members.
Yeah, I was just wondering if they sold like crackers or chips or any kind of snacks that.
They do have a restaurant in there that they can order breakfast before they go out for their shoots and things like that. Any other questions?
One last question, if we update our zoning language in the future, will that basically render this ordinance obsolete or kind of completely codify that into our zoning language?
Well, it would depend on if you made changes to uses within the agricultural zone, then it would. This is a text amendment to allow a special use in the ag district only. So your question is very general, so I'm giving you a very lawyer answer. It depends. It just, to say any change, no, but if there was a change made specifically to an agricultural district, yes, it would likely affect this, but we would have to see how that would play out, because this is specific to allow a gun club as a special use in the ag zone, ag district only.
So having passed this ordinance, do we have to put this into our zoning ordinances in the future? We update those, or is this sufficient to basically update that?
This is sufficient to reflect the current use and now make it so it's no longer a non-conforming use and it reflects a use that is approved by the village.
So this item makes the amendments to the existing zoning code, so it will be built into the zoning ordinance, and if you were to make amendments to the future, we just ensure that it doesn't contradict with the section, that would just be part of the code.
I'm sorry, just because you mentioned that, that they have mentioned future plans for the agriculture part.
So if they are talking about doing additional work on the property, that would trigger a change to the special use, which is the next item on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
They would have to come back before the Planning and Zoning Commission and have that change for the special use approved in order to go ahead with any additional plans.
Okay, thank you.
And the reason we do this is that would require a public hearing. And that way it'd be legal notice, it'd be a meeting, and residents nearby can come if they were concerned. So that's the assurance that this does.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Any public comments?
Coble.
Aye.
Richmond. Aye. George Duberstein.
Aye.
Abramson.
Aye.
Georgiana Duberstein.
Aye.
Priest.
Aye.
And Williams.
Aye.
We can just let the record reflect that the findings of fact are reflected in the code.
Okay.
Do we have to approve it again in the meeting?
Yes, this is just the text amendment of this. And then I need a motion to recommend to take this to the board, the text amendment to the village board.
So. Second.
And our recommendation is yes.
Yes.
Roll call.
Commissioners Coble.
Aye.
Richmond. Aye. George Duberstein.
Aye.
Abramson.
Aye.
Georgiana Duberstein.
Aye.
Priest.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay. Motion to adjourn this portion of the Planning and Zoning Commission text amendment meeting for August 26, 2025 at 6:47.
So-
6:46.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission for the special use permit for August 26, 2025 at 6:46 p.m. Roll call.
Commissioners Coble.
Here.
Richmond. Present. George Duberstein.
Here.
Abramson.
Here.
Georgiana Duberstein. Here.
Here.
Priest.
Here.
And Williams.
Here.
Just check.
Okay, and then the public hearing on granting a special use permit to Northbrook Sports Club for a gun club for the property commonly known as 160 Sports Club Drive, Hainesville, Illinois. And we'll let you guys handle that portion again. Anything else you need to add? Need to add anything else for that? Any other discussion? Okay. Public comment? Nope. Okay, then we need a motion to adopt the finding of facts for the Commission for Text Amendment for the Planning and Zoning
For special use.
for special use.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call. Roll call.
Just a roll call for the vote on the
Okay.
approval of the special use.
Commissioners Coble.
Aye.
Richmond. Aye. George Duberstein.
Aye.
Abramson.
Aye.
Georgiana Duberstein.
Aye.
Priest.
Aye.
And Williams.
Aye.
Carried.
Okay, and I need a motion for the recommendation to take the special use permit to the village board.
So moved. Second.
And our recommendation is yes.
Yes. Yes.
Roll call.
Commissioners Coble.
Aye.
Richmond. Aye. George Duberstein.
Aye.
Abramson.
Aye.
Georgiana Duberstein.
Aye.
Priest.
Aye.
And Williams.
Aye.
I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 6:48 p.m. We gotta break that up, sorry. A little confusing, but. Okay, moving on to our regular. If you guys want to stay, you are welcome to stay here for our exciting meetings.
Thank you, nice seeing you all.
Nice seeing you also. Be safe. Yeah, take care. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular board meeting for August 26, 2025 in the Village of Hainesville at 6:49 p.m. Roll call.
Mayor Mary Coble.
Here.
Trustees Richmond. Present. George Duberstein.
Here.
Abramson.
Here.
Georgiana Duberstein. Here. Priest.
Here.
And Williams.
Here.
Establishment of quorum. I need approval for the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It was Alan here.
All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. Sorry. Public comments. Did you want to speak today?
I just have like a comment.
Sure.
That they installed a new stop sign on Haynes Drive and Tower Road,
Yes.
and they need to trim up the trees so you can see it when you're coming up to it.
I will make note of that and I'll make make sure that a public works crew know.
Thank you.
Okay, moving forward, I need a motion for the approval of the consent agenda.
So,
Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Richmond,
Aye.
George Duberstein,
Aye.
Abramson,
aye.
Georgiana Duberstein. Aye. Priest,
Aye.
and Williams.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay. Discussions and reports. Finance.
So I got a couple of things on the finance side. Fiscal year 2025 audit, all things are progressing well. There'll be a few follow-up documentation items that the auditors will be looking for, so we'll probably get a few more questions, requests from them on that. Village has until October 31st to have the audit presented and passed. We can't ask for an extension, but it's going to be needed. September, we'll start working on the tax levy and special service area tax levy work. More information will be provided on that in the near future. And then October, we'll start the budget process for fiscal year 2027.
Thanks.
Could I ask if the trustees would use the microphones, please?
Oh, sorry.
I took it away from him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Grade Age Club.
Yes, the next grade age club meeting is September 2nd, and there'll be somebody murdered.
Oh, my comment.
Did I?
No, none of the attendees, however. And we will have a mystery chance to solve who did the murder. So that's what that meeting is. October is usually our progressive dinner. It's getting less progressive, but we have it anyway. And in November, there's an interesting play at CLC called The 39 Steps, and we're looking to put a group together that would like to attend.
Community events. Walpole.
Okay. I finally got the after action information on the reuse-a-rama that we had in July, which I talked about at the last meeting, but we didn't have the statistics then. I won't bore you with all the details. I'll provide that report to you directly, but overall, for the clothing, textiles, shoes, books, documents, fire extinguishers, and all kinds of other things, it's almost 3,400 pounds were dealt with and collected. So that was a successful event. We just recently, this past month, had, for the first time ever, a household chemical recycling event that we had at the Prairie View School parking lot. And that was a successful event. Let's see if I can here. I have it right in front of me. Sorry, bear with me for a second here. They had 277 appointments, of which 226 were kept, but names had 33 arrivals who didn't have an appointment. For the total cars attending was 259, almost 260 cars. I contacted SWACO to get some feedback on what was actually collected and how many pounds and so forth, and they're still working on that, so I don't have those details, but I will provide them to you as soon as I get them. But that was a successful event, and Prairie View School was very accommodating to let us use their parking lot because ours wasn't big enough to handle everything. And I did send a thank you letter to the mayor, I'm not the mayor, to the principal of the school, and I assume we sent it out. And it was under both mine and yours. I don't know whether she showed it to you or not, but, okay. So that's enough.
Civil War event?
Oh, one other thing, we had a SWOCO meeting here, and they just discussed, now, again, I won't go into all the details, they discussed the budget, various other things that they are planning. One thing that was done is I was appointed to their legislative committee, which I was on previously. So that does a lot of work with the folks down in Springfield. So that's a good representation for the village as well. Chris was at that meeting. He's our alternate. Do you want to add anything?
I don't think it's
Okay, that's SWOCO. All right, Civil War event. I've recontacted all the presenters to make sure they're still on board with us. We don't have General Grant anymore. He's retired. But we do have somebody that will do something about General. Who are the other generals?
Me?
Yes, thank you. General Meade, who was instrumental at the Battle of Gettysburg, and will also be talking about something of the Battle of Hainesville, which is the last major battle of the Civil War, which we'll be depicting then, so he'll talk about that as well. I've contacted the individual who many years ago played Jefferson Davis, and I was able to, even though Jefferson Davis and Abraham Lincoln never met, we conjured up a debate between the two of them at the early event in 2016. So I've tried to get a hold of him again, since we have some time now, because Senator Grant won't be there anymore, and neither will Mrs. Lincoln. And I haven't heard back from him, but I'm hoping we can get him again and maybe have another debate. We've contacted, or I sent out donation letters to about 17 people with Ruby's help. We've gotten so far 4 responses for a total of $900. I'm hoping some of our big contributors will respond subsequently. Otherwise, we're going to have an issue. I'm looking at the possibility of actually sending out some more letters in addition to the 17 that are already out there, just to cover our bases a little bit. I think that's good for the time being.
And party in the park.
Oh.
Waiting on that.
I actually was on the ground responsible for putting this all together, but I had a lot of help from Israel and his crew, and I'd like to thank them. Georgianne and Chris were on site to help out, and I appreciate that as well. And certainly during the run-up to it, making a lot of the contacts are Christina and the staff was very helpful in getting a lot of this stuff. I think this year, for the first time in a long time, we had a beer tent, and I think that would go well with some of the people. I would like to recommend that we have not tonight, but maybe next week, because we'll have to put a notice out because of a meeting, I'd like to recommend we have an after-action meeting of all the participants so we can get an idea of what went right and what went wrong. And that, since that meeting, maybe you can determine what days we can have it, but I'd like to have, I've already talked to Israel to get input from his staff so that he doesn't have to have all the staff there, but he'll be there. And then I would like to have everybody from the staff there, as well as maybe Chris and Jordan and myself. I know Doug and Ann work during the day, but if you want to make some comments tonight of what you saw, because I know you were there, either pro or con for that matter, what you saw or what people that you talked to said to you, either pro or con, I'd be appreciative of any comments you heard to make.
Yeah, we got there, and just talking to the people we knew, everybody was happy that it was really pro-children. You know, the children were having fun, and that's a positive for us. And especially they enjoyed the working dog, the police training that they showed. But there was just a lot of children enjoying themselves, especially toward where the music was, and then everybody started dancing and so forth. So I thought that was a big positive, because that's really what we want to see is children enjoying themselves, and that just touches me. So I enjoyed that part, and everybody was confident.
Did you notice any problems?
There was, yeah, there were two gentlemen that almost got in a fight.
Really?
Yeah, it was really weird. We were standing, and we were eating our food actually, and we're looking at them, and they actually wanted to go to, the fist fight. Well, they didn't, but that was the only thing. Out of everything I saw, that was the only thing. And the police came to and kind of broke them up.
Andy, you want to get in?
Just a comment I heard from two different residents as they went to the website in the week leading up to the event to see if they could get a scheduled event or what food trucks would be there, that they weren't able to find.
Okay. Yeah, we did, of course, they didn't see this until the day of the event, but we did for the first time have a little brochure that we put out, which included a map of everything and a location as well as scheduled events. So that was, I thought very helpful for a lot of participants, because they could find out, where things were and what was going on. So I thank you for your input, but Mary, I appreciate it if you could set up some kind of meeting. And it probably would have to be next week, because you have to, I guess, put out a notice that we're having a meeting with everybody.
That's more than great.
Do you want to add anything?
I just want to thank all of those involved personally. I mean, you guys, especially day of, you guys were on it, you guys did your thing, so, there's always hiccups. I will say with the website, to your comment with that, partially, we do hold off a little bit, because even up until the last minute, we have changes. So I hesitate to put out, confirmed food trucks and things like that, because I did actually have cancellations and things like that. Things are unfortunately changing up until the last minute, but definitely noted to put out, what we can. But no, it was a great event. I heard nothing but positive comments on it from anyone that we've talked to. And we actually had a resident reach out to us with a letter that Chris is actually going to share now.
So this was from one of our residents. Dear members of the village board, I want to take a moment to personally thank and commend you all for an outstanding Party in the Park event held this past Saturday. From beginning to end, it was truly a fantastic celebration of community, and our entire group of family and friends thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it. The layout of the event was especially thoughtful this year. Everything felt intentional and well organized, from the stage placement to the seating areas to the activity zones and vendors. It created a large, welcoming, and accessible environment for attendees of all ages. A wide variety of activities available made it next to impossible for anyone to be bored. There was truly something for everyone, from the little ones to the grown-ups, and that variety kept us happily engaged for all 5 hours. We honestly had no intention of staying the entire time, but the fun and energy made it impossible to leave early. We stayed for the entire event. The food and drink options were another great standout. They were not only delicious, but also diverse enough to please everyone in our group, no easy feat, FYI. Everything was easy to access, reasonably priced, and served with friendly smiles. Most importantly, what stood out to us was the family-centric atmosphere that was once again become the essence of Hainesville. Events like these reinforce what a special place our village is. He created lasting memories, strengthened our community ties, and reminded us yet again why we all are also proud to call Hainesville our home. Thank you again for your dedication, planning, and heart. We all see it, and we deeply appreciate it.
Great. I also, Mayor, have the intention after we have our after action meeting is to put together, and I'll do it because I know the staff is busy, a document that lists chapter and verse of everything that we did going up to the event, during the event, and so forth, with maps and everything, so that in the future, somebody can pick up this document and run with it, not having to reinvent the wheel.
Great idea.
Can I just say one thing?
Yep.
Walking around, I mean, I've talked to a lot of residents and everything else, and as they said, as it was written in that letter, it was the best they've seen. And I want to thank everyone that was involved, Mary, Georgianne and George, the organization, Christina and Ruby and whoever else, and Israel for making it what it should, what we wanted it to be, and it turned out that way. I couldn't leave. I was leaving at 8 o'clock, and I left at 9:15. And I'm sitting there, and everybody had questions about everything else, and they were so happy about everything, and they're happy about everything that goes on in this village, the improvements that we've done with our public works, for this summer and everything else. There was a lot of good. They appreciate being here, living in what we do for them as residents, and that's.
I'd like to have a copy of that letter so I can put that in that package that I put together as well.
Can you tell us who it is, who wrote it, or is that appropriate?
That's from Scott Strauss. Scott Strauss.
We also did have some volunteers from the school that are helping out as well, so that was.
Oh, nice.
That's just like the students.
Came from all 3 schools.
Oh, nice.
And they were manning the bouncy houses, correct?
They were doing that, they were making popcorn, they were overseeing the face painting and the balloons and the games for the little kids. They were walking around and handing out the flyer, the little brochures. They were so eager to do anything. Some of them had signed up for the whole day.
Wow.
I mentioned the Civil War reenactment, and they were all excited to have something else. And it was great that the 3 advisors worked together to put the sign-up sheet together, because it made life a lot easier than to figure out what school. I thought I got the sheet from the Brown Lake advisor, so I thought everybody was from Brown Lake, but then there were kids that showed up from Central and North, and I realized that it was a combination. So that makes it a whole lot easier for us to deal with. That they put it all together, and I suggested that they do that again for the school.
And we gave each of the participants a certificate of service from the village with Mary's and Christina's and Georgianne's signatures on the bottom, so they have something to show for the effort they put in.
And some prizes, since we didn't use all of them.
Yeah, we did. I've got to thank Georgianne for going around and getting some prizes that we used for the bingo to hand out for the winners of each thing. We had, as you said, a few left over, so Georgianne handed them out to some of the other participants.
We got the prizes from our local businesses because I wanted to support them, and they were very cooperative in giving us gift certificates, buy one, get or hot dogs at the Chicago Dog and a smoothie at the health food store.
Very nice. Christina, did you have anything?
I have nothing else to add.
Could I just add food for thought? Maybe whenever we do this again, we could
decade.
Future.
And towards after action.
Yeah, we did have a volleyball court
Oh, nice.
there that we didn't organize, we just put it out there and then people showed up and did their own thing.
Awesome.
And Chris was handling some of the bag toss things, so that was for the adults as well.
Unfortunately, didn't get a tournament, but we did get people playing bags out there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, nothing from Christina. I am going to add two things to my mayor's report. My mayor's report's in the packet, but I also wanted to add, first, trustees Creason and Abramson attended the 120 health study review at CLC. And I wanted to thank you guys for going in my absence. Prior to the major bypass that they're looking at moving forward, one of the main options is to do spot improvements along 120. This would include everything from Route 60 to Almond Road. And our intersection, obviously, Hainesville, 120, 134 is a major spot where there is congestion and accidents and things like that. This is something that they're hopefully looking to move forward with. I also met with the mayors along the corridor and the village administrators and discussed sending a joint letter basically to our representatives, having them also sent to the IDOT, and then having a meeting with our representatives to then stress to IDOT that these spot improvements need to be addressed as soon as possible. Even if the bypass goes through tomorrow, the spot improvements are going to be needed. So I wanted to keep you guys up to date on all that so you know what's going on with that. I also had a meeting with Georgia Duberstein, our Public Works Superintendent, Israel Mencia, and Lake County Transportation members to address our pedestrian crossings along Hainesville Road. This started out with us looking to get the state requires cars to stop for pedestrian signs, like you see in many areas. And the new regulations require that this sign is placed permanently into the pavement in the middle of the road. And because we have the turn lanes onto Patriot at the Tall Oak crossing, it cannot be put in the middle of the road there. They did give us some suggestions to help with our crossing at that point, extending the flashing lights, because I know once you hit the button, you're waiting for traffic to stop, and then by the time that you're barely halfway across, the lights are stopped flashing already. So Israel's going to work with Lake County to extend the flashings on that. They're also going to put extra reflective strips along the poles to kind of grab more attention to the cars driving by. And then get a new sign. One of the signs is very faded, so it does need to be replaced. The crossing at Bighorn is a major issue though. The curb in Hainesville Road and the proximity to the light at Washington causes a major hazard to pedestrians. They do not suggest, because we asked them about putting a hop light there, they do not suggest us putting that there because it would require too much, and it still could cause too many accidents with pedestrians. So their suggestion is to extend a small section of sidewalk from like Triumph Court on Cranberry North. There's like a small like cul-de-sac court where there's no houses, and a very short distance from there to the sidewalk on Washington Street. If we can extend that to Washington Street and get the pedestrians on that side of the street to cross at the light, it would be a much safer option. She said if we did that, we're able to do that, we could get signs put up at Bighorn on either side stating, please cross at intersection. Then they would then come back and remove the pads and the crosswalk striping from there so that people aren't tempted to run across in the middle of traffic and worry about people crossing.
So what you're saying is from Bighorn there to Washington, put a sidewalk. Lake County that would be theirs.
No, put it from within the Cranberry North subdivision.
Okay.
Okay? There's a Triumph Court, I think I believe it is. Triumph Court. There's a small court up there that doesn't have houses on it. It's just kind of like a little cul-de-sac for cars to turn around and extend a sidewalk piece there so that pedestrians in that section of housing can get to the walkway there. without walking across the grass,
Don't you
basically.
think it would be more beneficial to have the sidewalk if they could put one
We
in
asked for
there?
that, but there's, the gully ditch there,
The ditch.
so
Not unless we go to the HOA.
we have to
there.
take their property,
We have to
give
take
permission,
right
and
now,
all that kind of
permission.
stuff, yeah. So the short-term effect would be to get the small sidewalk put in first.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do that?
We'll look at it doing it for next year's budget, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So off of Triumph Court.
Off of Triumph Court. And it's basically, I don't even know how big it is, it's probably 5 feet from where the court ends and the sidewalk begins, the actual walkway on Washington begins. It's not very big.
Now, you say we're gonna put it in next year's budget, does that imply that we're going to go out for some,
A bid for the 5 feet, to see how much we think it's gonna cost.
rather than having Israel and his crew put some?
Probably, we'll see, we'll see. Once we start looking at budgeting and stuff like that, we'll figure that out. Yeah,
We have to extend it from the street. I
Yeah.
assume.
yeah.
Okay.
We would extend it from the street to the sidewalk, to the bike path there on Washington,
Okay.
on the west side of Hainesville area. And then.
Is that where they say township there?
Yeah, it's like right next to the house, Avon Township side
It's
there.
pretty far into the
Yeah.
subdivision there.
Yeah. Yeah. The only other thing they could do would be to go through the association and get something closer to the intersection there. So these are kind of things that they threw out for us to look at and see what we can do.
Do we have to get the association board involved in any of this?
Not for doing it from Triumph. If we go through any place else, yes.
So if we try to do it off the association property or one of their
We would have
driveways
to
or
give them a
sidewalks.
call.
Okay.
Question, does anybody know what's being constructed on Peterson before you get to 83 there? Where there was corn growing, now there's just a lot of bulldozers.
And before the Medline stuff, do you know, Jerry?
It's a data center.
Oh, no, not that part. The other, so if you go beyond that and go to the light and then make a left, like you're going down to what used to be the old 83 there, it was all corn, but now there's a bunch of bulldozers and they took all
Oh,
that.
they put in roundabouts there at Winchester, so that the road 83 is blocked off right now.
Right, yes.
83 is
Yeah.
blocked off because they're putting in a roundabout there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
That intersection,
It's because it's dangerous.
yeah, because of the way Winchester came, it kind of came at a weird angle, and to make a turn, either, I don't know if it was left or
Yeah.
right, it was very difficult.
Okay.
So that's part of their improvements over there. It's supposed to have been closed for 90 days, which I think they're, yeah, they're supposed to be back open in October.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, on to business. I need a motion for an ordinance amending sections of the Village of Hainesville Code of Ordinance regarding zoning. This is the text amendment. This text amendment is to create a zoning classification that recognizes the gun club as a special use and establishes the standards for that use.
So moved.
Second.
Any additional discussion to what we already discussed before?
No.
Okay, roll call.
Trustees Richmond. Aye. George Duberstein.
Aye.
Abramson.
Aye.
Georgianne Duberstein.
Aye.
Priest.
Aye.
Ed Williams.
Aye.
Motion carried. Ordinance number 25-8-377.
Okay, I need a motion for an ordinance granting a special use permit to the Northbrook Sports Club for a gun club for the property commonly known as 160 Sports Club Drive, Hainesville, Illinois.
So moved.
Second.
Any additional comments on that? Roll call.
Trustees Richmond. Aye. George Duberstein.
Aye.
Abramson.
Aye.
Georgianne Duberstein.
Aye.
Priest.
Aye.
And Williams.
Aye.
Motion carried. Ordinance number 25-8-378.
I need a motion for an ordinance amending Title III, Section 3.29.020 of the Municipal Code regarding the municipal grocery service occupation tax in the Village of Hainesville. The Village passed the original ordinance in March. This is an update in the language initiated by the Illinois Department of Revenue.
Still moved.
Second.
Discussion?
So this is the 1% that we were able to, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just Illinois Department of Revenue initiated some language
Okay.
changes.
Richmond? Aye. George Dickerstein?
Aye.
Abramson?
Aye.
Georgina Dickerstein?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Williams?
Aye.
Motion carried. Ordinance 25-8-379.
I need a motion for the approval of the memorandum of understanding between the Joint Emergency Telephone System Board of Lake County and the Village of Hainesville. Just a little note, we are currently using CENTCOM to dispatch our 911 calls. We are in conjunction through CENTCOM with the Round Lake areas. CENTCOM is going to be phased out, and the new facility up on Libertyville is going to be taken over, and this is just our agreement to comply with that.
So moved. Second.
Discussion?
Yes. Grays Lake has been using Glenview as their dispatch. Now, it didn't say Glenview by name, they said Northeast Lake County. Is that going to be included as
No.
well?
Right now, no. Right now, they still use their own, the Glenview dispatch, and several other towns still use other things too. The majority, from what my understanding is that the CENTCOM and a few others are immediately going into the LCOM, and then as they see how things progress and move forward, other departments and other towns will be moving towards that too. So that we have a centralized spot right now.
So when we call 911, do we get CENTCOM or do we get the Grays Lake?
You get CENTCOM, and then if it's a police call, it gets transferred to the dispatch down in Glenview. It'd be nice if they were all in one spot.
Yeah.
The new facility is large enough to handle it. The meeting that I had with Chief Formica and Nicole from CENTCOM said that all of them are moving from the Round Lake area here over to the new building, and they're all going through training right now.
So this is more a curiosity question, but since fire for us is Round Lake District, does that just stay with CENTCOM?
Yeah. No, it's all.
Or, I'm sorry, it'll
Yes, CENTCOM is going away, it's being phased out.
But their fire dispatch is CENTCOM today and LCOM
Yes.
after, okay.
Just a suggestion, somebody said to me that in addition to the sirens when there's a tornado warning, that we should have some kind of an all-clear siren so that people know they can come out of their basement or wherever. So I'm just mentioning that in whatever dealings you have, that you might suggest that they consider doing something like that.
How about that?
If I may address that issue. Been talking to Chief Formica in the past about that. There's been a general agreement between the various controllers not to do an all clear because they found over time that it was confusing.
Okay.
It was too what?
Do an all clear for a tornado warning or something.
No, I mean,
It was confusing.
really?
Yes. And I'm just
Because
passing on
usually
what I
it's
was
a
told.
horrible idea.
Just one other question on the LCOM. This is going to happen in phases. Do we have any idea of?
We should see nothing, no change in our communications. We dial 911, it gets answered.
Do we know if we will be, what phase our fire or police will be brought into LCOM?
As far as I know, from the understanding that I got from them was that as soon as everybody is trained, they're going through training now, as soon as everybody's trained, they're going to basically just move everything there and that'll be it. It'll be done with it all. Anything else? Roll call?
Trustees Richmond. Aye. George Dickerstein.
Aye.
Abramson.
Aye.
Georgina Dickerstein.
Aye.
Reese.
Aye.
And Williams.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.